Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is April if you're new here, and today I want to talk about some winter romantasy reads. I don't know about you, but in the winter time, all I want to do is read fantasy romance. Like, that's all I want to do. It's all about the fantasy romance when it's cold outside. And a lot of these books remind me of winter, especially when they're set in a snowy landscape. Like, I can't get over it. Like, I need that. I'm very much a seasonal reader, so maybe that's the reason. So today I'm gonna tell you about 3 books I've read already and 3 that I want to read. So let's just get right into the books. The first book you must read if you haven't read it yet is Quicksilver. Quicksilver starts off in the desert, but it doesn't end up there. In fact, most of the book is set in this wintry Fey world. And it's like you're trudging through snow. You're putting warm clothes on in a forge. even though you're in a forge, it's cold outside. You gotta put a coat on. This book is about a girl who steals the wrong thing from the wrong person, is about to get punished severely by a queen or king, I can't remember, and she accidentally opens a portal to a Fey world. While she's there, she kind of has to team up with this Fey prince. Is he a prince? I can't even remember. It's been too long since I read this now. Anyways, he's very moody and broody, and he's a shadow daddy. And I love the banter in here. This is a top tier book. I've always said this needed to be a movie, and I'm so glad that today the author announced that she's getting a Netflix adaptation, and I'm so happy for her because I think it's going to be awesome and I can't wait for it. But yes, Quicksilver definitely has all those winter snowy vibes. You need to read it. And then we have The Shattered Bones. This book, I'm cheating a little because it's not always set in winter. However, you're going through all these different realms and there are winter cold realms in it. So I'm putting it on this list because it's also epic fantasy romance. This book is about a girl that's a vessel for a goddess. When she turns of age, the goddess will inhabit her body and she'll cease to exist for a little while. And then while she's waiting, one day a thief is in her room and they develop a very sweet friendship together. It ultimately blooms into more and they're caught because it's a forbidden relationship and he's completely dismembered. He's dismembered by these gods and his body parts are strewn about these different realms. She is approached by a stranger who says he will help her put her lover back together if she finds all his body parts. So she's got to go to these realms, do these trials. They're all in very dangerous parts of the world and hopefully survive. And it is extremely epic. It is extremely brutal and heartbreaking, but it is amazing. And it's a fantasy romance standalone that's under 300 pages and still feels like an epic novel. I can't tell you how much I love this book. I love it so much and I need everyone to read it, like now. And then we have Mistletoe by Kimberly Lemming. Kimberly Lemming is one of my favorites. In fact, do I have this book? I'm pretty sure I do. It's somewhere over there. Who knows how to find it? This book is like a fake marriage type of book. You have the female main character. There's a curse put on her family by this fox demon and she brings him like a care basket, but he's not swayed by a care basket. No, he does not want a basket of apologies. He needs a fake wife for like a whole week. That's the book. There's tons of banter in here. There's shenanigans and hilarious situations. This is part of a whole series of books, but you can read this one alone. It's a very small, it's a very, very short book. So it's perfect for just like a cozy read by the fire type of book. And I absolutely think you should read not only this book, but all the books from Kimberly Lemming. They're all fantastic. But this one definitely has the most cozy winter vibes. Some books on my TBR for winter that have all the winter vibes is The Storm King. This is by Sarah Sellers. This is about a girl who is, you know, offered to the highest price to broker peace between kingdoms as she's on her way to her betrothed. So she's kind of like a summer princess and she's going to her winter king betrothed. An avalanche happens and like basically takes out all of her escorts and she's the only one alive. So when she arrives at the kingdom, she says she's a servant and not the actual princess because she's like doesn't want to be married or whatever. However, this king he knows and he'll go along with this ruse. She's just trying to make it to the end of winter so she can leave because obviously everyone's snowed in, and it goes from there. There is a lot of things in this that I love. I love arranged marriages and I love when princesses or people are in disguises. It doesn't really work out like the other person knows the whole time. So I'm really interested in this one, and I love the whole like I'm a summer child and I gotta live in this wintry landscape type thing. So yeah, I definitely want to read this one. I do think it's a shorter one as well. Yeah, 240 pages. So I definitely will read this one. And then we have The Warrior's Fate. This is a fated mates style fantasy romance, and in this you have a girl who is going, like, this is the day before she goes to these trials and she meets her fated mate, and that kind of puts a wrench into all her plans. She never wanted to give up her whole life just for some guy that she's like, you know, has feelings for. So she's like, no dude. They both have their own plans. So they're like, oh, nope, we reject this and we're gonna do our own thing. She goes through the trials, she wins, and her first assignment is of course in his kingdom. They are thrust back together again, and they really try not to be. And I just love that. I love when there's that push-pull of like, I'm not gonna do what fate demands of me. I wanna do my own thing. However, I can't resist you. Just love that whole thing. So I really am intrigued by this and I wanna read it. It is a little bit of a longer book. It's over 500 pages, which is actually pretty normal for romantasies. And then also, you know, it says it has SGM and Carissa Broadbent vibes. They all say that. So we'll see how it lives up. And then my last book that I want to read this winter is Castle of Never and Nightmares. This is trials in a wintry landscape. You have mortals competing for a dream come true in a game of trials set by the Fae. Of course, there is a lot of politicking underneath these trials that happens. They're not necessarily to give mortals a dream come true. It might be to conscript people to be soldiers in a war they don't want to do. So also along the way, she has help from multiple, it says boogeymen, who originally rejected her and robbed her and ruined her life, but apparently they all have to work together somehow, and I believe this is why choose. So I really want to get to this. Like, I really want to get to it. I think it sounds cool. I read one book from Lana P before. Wasn't my favorite, but I'm really curious about this one. I think I will like it a lot more. So I really want to read it this winter because all you really have to say is deadly trials in a wintry landscape, and then you add why choose on the top, and that is like just like the cherry. So yeah, this is definitely going to get read very soon, if not next. There you have it. There are 6 books to read this winter. If you are a fan of romantasy, let me know what books you are reading this winter that have all the wintry vibes. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!